What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Assetto Corsa Competizione. Today we're going to be doing my second competition server race. Jumping right into it. Going to skip right past practice just because nothing happened. This was working out to be like a 20-minute video. I decided to cut it out. It's getting long enough. Here we are in qualifying on a pretty good run. We got a 1.6 second lead on my fastest lap, which isn't too much, but I'd be putting me in that 2-minute mark area, which would be nice. Small goals to start off. Coming through the S's here, we gain a little bit more time, start to lose it on the exit though, and I just decide to try and let this car by. Takes a little more time than I thought it would. Not much time at all, but still, look at that. Look at my time bleed off. Kind of a dumb decision. Whatever, it's just qualifying. My attitude toward these races is I'm usually not the fastest, so I'll start at the back and just pick up the scraps, you know what I mean? Let people crash or make mistakes and then capitalize on it. And then maybe rely on a good defense towards the end of the game. A stubborn defense. Anyway, managing to reel in a couple temps there towards the end of that lap. Nothing really special happens. And right away on the beginning of the next lap, turn 2, we're going to apex too early, exit too soon, and just go wide enough to invalidate our lap. So that didn't work out too well. I'm pretty sure even if we get a sub 2-minute lap right now, we're still very slow. I'm pretty sure the fastest Ferraris can do a 1:53. So definitely not going to win this on speed alone. Or speed at all. Mostly luck and defense is what I'm going to have going on. A blue flag here, I wasn't sure what was going on. I saw this car coming at the last second and just stopped. On rewatching this, I realized that he just came out of the pits with me, so the blue flag was for the guy way back there. Didn't have to let that guy by. A bit of an awkward movement. Here we managed to pull out about a 1 3/10 out of our fastest lap time, just getting us into the 2-minute barrier, just 2:09. So we're going to go back to the garage, let Adder know we've raced before, say good luck, have fun, all that stuff. Here's the times. You can see I'm the only person outside of the sub 2-minute barrier, and the other person hasn't qualified yet, so he's kind of a dark horse. We'll see how that goes. You can see Blackadder doesn't remember me at all. Anyway, let the race begin. I'm going to skip the formation as usual. And, you know, I'm showing you right at the beginning. I'm using a little bit of a brake boosting here. Not sure if that technique does anything in this game, but away we go. Off with the race. Now let me know about brake boosting. You can see on the mid to bottom left, there's an orange box now. So pitting is mandatory and a tire change is necessary. So we're going to have to do that at some point. Not familiar with pitting whatsoever. Coming up to turn 1, and nobody's making contact just yet. We're going to sneak up the inside of this Lambo here. There's the contact. Ferrari gets pitted by the Mercedes accidentally. We're going to just squeeze in front of the Mercedes. There's another car there. That could have gotten really ugly really quickly. Could have just clipped the front, pitted myself essentially. But that's going to put us into what I believe is 8th place, counting the positions there on the mini-map. As we've talked about before, the position counter on the left is a little slow to catch up, but up into 8th place. Let's see if we can hang on to it for a little bit. Coming around the sweeping left-hander here. We gain a little bit. Let's see how we can do on the right-hander. Kind of a crucial little connection. Catch up maybe a tiny bit more. Losing out on the exit. We're just hanging in there. A bit of a 4/10 of a gap here from the guy behind, so I do take a bit of a defensive line. Coming across in the braking zone instead of hanging to the left and then turning in at the last second for a late apex, which means we're going to hug the inside a little bit more, lose a bit of time, and Knowles is going to pull away a tiny bit, trying to use all the curb here and all the curb here. We definitely unsettle the car and violently lose it into the sand. Going to lose 1-2 positions and come under fire from 2 more drivers here. So we're going to stay all to the way to the right. We don't have any momentum. We're going to let them take it if they can. We're side by side with one. Someone tries to make it 3 wide, the Porsche, but we're just going to hold on. Couldn't quite make it happen. And file in 11th place. So not too bad, minimalizing damage here. Definitely early on the braking here. So an Audi spinning off to the left there. It was Blackadder. So now a very quick driver is behind us. We might be seeing him again soon. Coming around the final turn onto the straight. We're going to hold on to 10th place. Okay, so we're in the top 10. And I think that is a solid goal for this race. You'd want to do better than your last race for sure, but got a lot of luck last race. We'll see how it goes. Top 10. That goal's checked off. Coming under fire from the Porsche again. He's very close coming out of the Schumacher S's. Let's see if he goes for a move this time, knowing that I'm early on the brakes into the final chicane. Not this time. I hit my braking point nicely. We adjust, and we carry much more speed through the chicane. So around the final turn here, he's going to look for a move up the outside, sorry, and I tried to shepherd him wide there, but I did it too soon, and he just cuts right across and gets the position. Going to go side by side here, kind of pull it back. Definitely trying to leave him space there. Was intending on missing the apex by a car, and we still made contact. I don't know what to say about that. I carried on, obviously, because I don't feel like I was necessarily at fault. I really did leave a car space on the inside. It was just a racing incident, I think. It was really easy to overcook the brakes into that corner, and it might have happened like that. So now we're coming under attack from Shin in the Lamborghini, the dark horse from the beginning. And we're going to kind of hope that we can pull out of here so we can't get an opportunity into the hairpin. Looks like there was a racing incident behind too. Someone went skidding off the track wide there, maybe from contact. I couldn't quite make it out. Coming onto the straight on the next lap, we're going to be under attack from who I believe is Blackadder. Same strategy as last time, braking in a straight line, using the kink to our advantage, coming back to the left and pinching them very narrow to give us both a wide line. And Blackadder's like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. And goes right around. He makes the most of literally a car width of space, fully commits, trusts me, knows what I'm doing, and it paid off. We're going to come back under attack from the Porsche here from going in a little bit too deep. And we're going to take a defensive line. He's going to go racing. Kind of looks like I've got the speed on him. I come back for a racing line. Brake as late as possible. Right on the corner, just past the exit road, the far side. I'll point it out with animation so you know what I mean. And we're going to break away from him just a little bit. Coming through the pit, he's very close. Coming through the S's here, I believe he's going to gain a bit more ground and have a definite opportunity for a lunge into the next corner. So I'm going to have to go defensive. He sees it. He's going to go for the move around the outside. And we're just going to hit that braking point nicely, use lots of curb, and leave him plenty of space to go around the outside. Hang on to the position, taking a racing line around the next corner, and pulling out just a tiny bit of a gap. Definitely enough to not worry about defending into the final chicane. Don't have to worry about a move here. It looks like Mozart, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Mo2Art, made a small error because we're catching back up to him now. We're going to hit a braking point as late as possible, the 100 board there. And the Porsche behind is just deciding to settle in on this occasion. We're going to go for a defensive line here, hug that curb all the way around, and the Porsche is just going to brake a little too late and drift very wide. So the pressure from behind's gone. Now we can focus on Mo2Art, who happens to go a little wide himself here. We're going to slot up beside him, and he's just going to back out of it. So very lucky. It couldn't go any better, actually. Now I've got a little bit of a blockade between me and the very quick drivers behind, and we can put down a little bit of a gap if we're lucky. Looks like they're starting to fuss a little bit. 4 drivers racing so close together. They're all going to be looking for moves and costing each other a little tense, and you can see we get it up to a 1.4 second gap. Not too bad. Skipping to the 7th lap here, we'll start catching up to this Nissan GTR. I think we raced with him before too. If not in the last competition race, definitely in a public lobby. And we're definitely catching up in the corners. I couldn't help but notice it. It was drastic. I caught up to him very quickly over the course of like a lap. So I was figuring he was dealing with some kind of damage. I wasn't sure. But look at that. He's just struggling in the corners and then using that straight line speed of the GTR to accelerate nicely in the straights. You'll see it again here. And you might have noticed me flashing my lights. I'm not trying to distract the guy. I'm trying to be like, hey, you know, I developed this 1.4 second gap. It's kind of shrinking now. Could you do me a favor and let me by? Here you'll see me ask politely again. If I were trying to mess him up, I'd be flashing him like right at the braking point now and make him look back to like half a second before the braking point, a tenth. But I still think I got in his head a bit too much. So if I'm going to be racing with these guys over and over again, I think I should probably cut little habits like that out of my system. You know, try and get along with everybody as best as possible. Here we are on the 8th lap. You can just see that Lamborghini squeeze by the GTR. So he's in my rearview mirror now. He's the immediate threat. Coming up here, totally unpressured mistake. Just missed my braking point. He's going to get by. O'Connor's going to slip right by smoothly. The only bright side of this is I get a bit of slipstream coming out to the straight here after the Schumacher S. But it doesn't amount to much. He gets away. Here we are on lap 9. Now we're coming under attack from Shin in the Lamborghini, the dark horse from the beginning. So clearly he is a quick driver because he's catching up to me no problem. quicker than me. And we're going to try dealing with the pressure. Skipping ahead here, we get a slow car warning. Doesn't really slow me down much, but nothing really comes of it either. I'm not sure what that was about. I'm just going to skip ahead again towards the second sector, just after the hairpin here. And start pulling out a little time. We only need 3 tenths to finally hit that sub 2-minute mark, so I'll call it 4 tenths. So we got it right now. If we can just keep up and connect a good lap right now, we're actually building on it nicely. We can probably bring something good to the table. A 159 something would be nice. Maybe deep 159s at this rate. Losing a bit of time on this corner, quite a bit of time. But we just have to keep it together. We still have that 4 tenths that we need to get into the 159 club. Sub 2 minutes, let's go. So coming down the straight here, we just have to brake just after the 100 board. Maybe a little early, just light on the brakes. Carrying a lot of speed through there, using all the curb. Try not to touch the little round circles. Like maybe a foot into the curb, they will unsettle the car drastically. We're up to 7 tenths now and rising on the exit. We finally get a good exit on the final corner. And that's going to give us our 159.4. Probably my fastest lap of the race. So I just wanted to include that really quick. Coming into turn 3 here, we have Shin getting very close, closing the gap, and we finally have the pit window open. So something that's very apparent up at the top is that there is a timer on the pit window. Did not see that while I was driving. Quite a noob mistake. So focused on the road. Did not notice a white window pop up in my rearview mirror. Coming around the corner on lap 13. So Shin kept up to with me for 13, or however many laps that was, 4 or 5. And he's going to pit now on the 13th lap, around the halfway point. I thought I could go to the end of the race. I thought the pit window was like from now to the end. I didn't realize. So here I decided to let this guy by. He already pitted and I didn't, so I figured we weren't even fighting each other. And I think he was so confused that he missed his braking point by a little bit. He's like, why would this person let me by? Really, it didn't matter whatsoever. So I think I made the right decision there. Just let him go. You know, don't waste my time defending. Coming in on lap 16, look at how close it is. 30 seconds left to pit. Had no idea that there was a time limit here. I thought the pit limiter had to be engaged by that barrier on my left there. It doesn't have to be engaged to the barrier on the right. And look at that. Time invalidated. Maybe if my pit was earlier in the lane. There were so many ifs and maybes there that could have kept my pit validated. But it was invalidated thanks to me being a noob, not knowing what I'm doing. So we're going to get a massive penalty towards the end. Coming out behind Black Adder. So we're going to not get any slipstream, it's probably safe to say. Just keep taking our racing lines and keep doing our best. Here we are on lap 19. You can see Knowles is caught up a little bit. And I'm so disheartened by this mistake. I just wasn't really focused. And you can see here, there's my braking point. I'll mark it with an animation. And I miss it by about 2 seconds. That's never good. I'm painfully aware of my mistake as it's happening too. We're going to needlessly lose a position to Knowles there. And we're going to wake up. We're going to realize, hey, you know what? It's not all is lost. Just keep doing your best. Keep going. Here we are on lap 22. And you can see now Shin is caught right up, especially in turn 1 there. It felt like we hit our braking point nicely. Went in a little deep, though. Didn't think anything of it. Going to carry on around turn 2. Take a very defensive line, braking nice and early into turn 3. Hug the curb. Questionable track limits there. Come back across. Hitting up with that second apex nicely. Using some of the curb. Better usage of the road. Shin's just going to lose control on the 22nd lap here. So we're going to jump ahead to the 25th lap. Here he is again, coming back like a freight train. I hit my braking point nicely, but we went in a little deeper than usual. The first time that's happened. Going to skip ahead now to turn 6, I think. Hit a braking point and nicely, and we again go in too deep. So experiencing either brake fade or tire wear right now, I believe. I'm not quite sure. But struggling under braking. We're going to have to take corners a bit slower than usual because we have to brake earlier. Here we are at the Schumacher S's a lap later. And I believe we have a race leader catching up with us. We are now officially back markers. So Shin's going to get overtaken by the Bentley, it seems. Apparently Bentley's a good car for this track. I remember making a video called Making Tough Decisions or something like that. One of my first Assetto Corsa Competition videos. And a Bentley overtook me in that quite easily too. So we're going to let him by here. He sees the brake dabs and he just goes. We might have gained out. Or that might have been advantageous to us, that whole passing scenario there. Because I think we have a slightly bigger gap to Shin now. Going to use some of the slipstream to our advantage too from the Bentley boy up ahead. But he takes off. So Shin's caught back up. We're coming hairpin, very defensive line. And you can see Shin's now just waiting for a mistake. He's waiting for a move. We're going to work our way back to the right side, take a racing line around the Schumacher S, and hold on to the position of 7th place for another lap. Onto the main straight, the very next lap. And we're going to hit our braking point nicely, try and take a racing line, and Shin's going to work his way up beside me. We're going to try and get a better run around the outside. It's not going to happen. He's going to leave the door open, though. We're going to slot around the inside here. Working together nicely, coming up into turn 3. He's going to leave space again. I don't know if he went a little bit wide or what, but he's showing me lots of space. I'm going to take advantage of it, getting very close there, but he gets the job done on the exit. So he's finally into 7th place. A well-earned position. He's been coming at me like crazy. And we're going to just try and follow him now. Keep applying pressure, maybe utilize the slipstream. Still going in deeper than I'd like. Hard to break these habits. And also using first gear around here now. So something about the car's changing, where first gear is now becoming a viable gear, where second gear was perfectly cutting it before. Now I feel like I'm going slower and I need the drive from first. Here we are on the final lap. Takes me on the penultimate lap. On the final lap, turn 3, and he loses it. So, excluding the pit failure, a little bit of luck there to get us a better on-track position towards the end. We have another back marker coming up too. He just made it past Shin, so he never really caught up. I never got a blue flag. But we're going to finish across the line in 7th place. However, we are going to get a 130-second penalty. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Woof. So, you know, you live and you learn. We'll do better next time. We'll nail our pits next time. And just rip some celebratory donuts for you guys now. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great night. And take care, as usual. Bye-bye.